here we are in an early August morning with the moon, Jupiter, and Venus. And we had Jupiter rising first at 2:50 a.m., the moon at 3:04, and Venus at 3:30. So, if the motion of the sun and the moon and the planets is merely apparent, and it is actually not their motion, but it is caused by the rotating of the Earth, how could we have these different rise times? So we've talked about the solar analemma and how it takes the sun 1 year to go from south to north, north to south. The moon makes the same trip every month. And so like the sun and the moon, the planets or wandering stars each have their own kind of flower petal shape that they trace out through the sky, as well as their own kind of calendar that they adhere to for how long it takes them to complete one full cycle. And so today we're going to take a close look at Jupiter's loops and flower petals and see what we can learn. All right, here we go. And so Jupiter operates on about 12-year cycles with 11 4-month retrograde cycles happening each period, spending 6 years in the north, 6 years in the south, with its southern rise times reflecting a much faster transit through the sky. Okay, so we've talked about how the sun's path through the sky lines up with Capricorn in the winter. That's as far south as the sun goes. At that time, the sun will be moving as fast as it will throughout the year until it starts to head north when we are on our equator for the equinoxes and back up to Cancer for our summer. So we've talked about that, and we've also talked about how the moon kind of follows the sun at the beginning and end of the lunar cycle, coming to fill up at the Tropic of Cancer when the sun is in the winter, and vice versa when the sun is in the north for our summer, our full moon will be in the south. Now the planets do the same thing. It's this pumping pendulum motion from north to south. So right now, this is Jupiter. Right now, Jupiter is in the north, and Jupiter kind of has its own schedule aside from the sun. So when it takes the sun 1 year to go from here to here, Jupiter does that in about 12. So Jupiter will spend 6 years in the north going round and round until it's time for his retrograde cycle, where we will see, just like we see the sun and the moon do on their solstices. So in a sense, a planet's retrograde cycle is much like the sun or the moon having their north or south reverse of course. So Jupiter goes around and round. We'll spend 6 years in the north, 6 years in the south, going back and forth. Now, right now, the Jupiter is in the north, and we are about to hit opposition. Now, here's a diagram of Jupiter's kind of life cycle. Each one of these loops represents a 4-month retrograde cycle. And at the tip of each one of those loops is when Jupiter and the sun will be at opposition. Just like every full moon, they are always diametrically opposed, 180 degrees across from each other. Just like that, Every time Jupiter hits the northernmost part of its retrograde loops, it will always be directly across from the sun. Now, magnetic north, the Earth is always in the center of this flower. And like I said before, each one of these midpoints for the retrograde cycle is when Jupiter and the sun will be 180 degrees across from each other. So what we see is a functional system. We see functionality. Again, this isn't chaos, accident. This isn't just a coincidence that there's this much geometric precision in the position and motion of all of the lights in the sky that we see. They are always kind of counterbalancing off of each other, and each little piece of every little cycle fits together like cogs in a giant machine. And it's not a coincidence that these lines are all consistent with what a giant magnetic field would demonstrate. So between the geometric consistency that we see and how this all correlates to lining up with the field lines of a giant magnetic field, I think it's safe to say that what we are looking at is something functional and not just a haphazard collection of random objects that just appear to be demonstrating this kind of geometric consistency, but it actually is geometric consistency with Earth and our central magnetic, the magnetic center of our world always at the center of the flower. And another little clue here for people wanting to learn about this is the rise times. It's always a dead giveaway. So, like the sun and the moon, luminaries in the south are moving faster. So here we have Jupiter at its farthest north, right around here, 12, 13, 25. We have a 14-hour day. Just like when the sun is far in the north, we have these long days where the light just hangs in the sky. And we look forward 6 years to December 13th, 2031, and we see when Jupiter is in the south, we have a 9-hour day. And that's it for today. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.